Hot topic for content creators. This is where I pitch a hot topic to you guys, and then you guys turn around and create your own content on said topic. Representation in fiction. So representation in fiction. I was talking about specifically last week, the subject of our discussion was about a movie that was coming out. A movie that was coming out that was adapted or reimagined, as they were saying, of a Lovecraft short story. Okay. So I want to kind of like revisit that topic because I got a new kind of angle that I want to come at it from. So this topic, this subject of, we can come at these subjects from all different types of angles, as we kind of embroider this specific topic of representation in fiction. Like, what does that even mean? What does representation in fiction mean? And for this particular subject, so we want to discuss the idea of artists and producers making movie adaptations of classic literature, but updating the source material to better suit modern sensibilities. With this subject, I want to focus on the whole reimagining part. Like, what does it mean to reimagine the source material? And perhaps there is more to this subject than simple black and white revisionism, if you will. So I do have a comment here that I want to just read real quick that kind of inspired this. Ben from Running to Write left a comment on last week's show where he says, thank you for caring so much about indie books. He says, interesting hot topic. So sadly, there isn't much originality anymore. The most popular movies of the past few years are almost 100% sequels, remakes, reboots, or in general, unoriginal. So for as weird as it got, I enjoyed Everything Everywhere All at Once, simply because it was new. And then he says, then again, I am a part of the problem as I'm excited to go see the new Spider-Man movie. So maybe that might be a little bit of a little bit divisive there. I'm not into the superhero stuff, but let's check out what's the deal with this new Spider-Man movie. I say to myself, okay, let me check it out. What does he mean? What do you mean part of the problem? What is this about? Which kind of like inspired this whole subject for this week. So I'm looking at this new, one of the posters. Let me pull it up. It's been a while since I checked out any of the Spider-Man stuff. Last I knew, Peter Parker was Spider-Man. But now we have a new Spider-Man. Last I knew, Spider-Man was a white man. And now Spider-Man is a black man. You'll say, whoa, what happened here? What happened to Spider-Man? Where's Peter Parker? Who is this guy? I'm thinking to myself, not that I really care. Again, I'm not really into the whole superhero thing. But then I got to thinking about it, right? And I'm thinking, this is interesting because on one hand, you have, the story of Spider-Man. Pretty much everybody pretty much knows the story of the character, right? The character of Spider-Man at this time, or at least if you're from that, from my generation and earlier. Peter Parker, he gets bitten by a radioactive spider, bada boom, bada bing. Now he can climb walls. He's like a science, or he has access to, these materials. He has like the science guy make some some webbing so he can do like web slinging and stuff like that. And he's also a journalist, and he just so happens to always be in the right place at the right time to snap photos of the elusive Spider-Man as he fights crime. And, he's a hero that is praised by the city. Okay. If I remember correctly, that is basically the basic lore of Spider-Man. So that's the canon. That's Spider-Man canon, if you will. But now you got this whole new Spider-Man thing. I have no idea what's going on here. I got to be honest with you. I don't recognize any of the characters. I don't even recognize that Spider-Man suit. It's a whole new design. So now I'm thinking to myself, that ain't Peter Parker. That's a whole nother character. That's someone completely different. They got a completely different character wearing the Spider-Man costume, which then this got me thinking. This got me thinking about the concept of superheroes and supervillains. Okay, so we want to talk about staying true to the source material when it comes to this fiction, but then how this kind of dovetails with representation in fiction. We say, okay, Peter Parker had his time as Spider-Man, right? Is Peter Parker Spider-Man, or was Spider-Man Peter Parker? You know what I mean? And whoever this guy is, well, he's wearing the Spider-Man costume now. So does that make him Spider-Man? So that's where I got thinking about. I was like, maybe, it's this weird, maybe this could be a kind of like a loophole, if you will, kind of an exception. I'm thinking maybe this could be an exception to the rule when it comes to this whole idea of staying true to the source material. Is that really important in this context? Because we're talking about superheroes and supervillains. So where am I coming at? Before you guys jump down my throat here, let me just tell you where my mind's at and what I'm thinking about, okay? And now take it with a grain of salt, because this is also coming from a guy that doesn't really care about superheroes and supervillains and comic books and all that, okay? So superheroes and supervillains, maybe not all, but quite a few of the characters, like Spider-Man, okay, they wear costumes that cover up their human identity in its entirety, okay? So if you didn't know Spider-Man was Peter Parker, then Spider-Man really could be anybody. Really, if you did not know that Spider-Man was Peter Parker. I didn't follow all the stories. So let's just say, okay, just follow me now. So he's wearing superheroes like Spider-Man wear costumes that cover up their entire human identity. So the character becomes more of a symbol that represents a particular archetype or the id, if you will, also known as the superego. All right, which makes the concept of the superhero or supervillain more of a psychological or spiritual or kind of metaphysical matter that could be applied to a variety of different kinds of characters. So think there's the human character, there's the human element, the person underneath the mask, but the superhero, the id, the super ego itself is kind of just superimposed, if you will, onto that human being, whoever that human being may be. All right. So that's the subject that I kind of want to talk about here. So do you guys think I'm on to something? Or do you think all of this is just all bullshit and Peter Parker is the one true Spider-Man while all the rest are just cosplaying imposters? So you guys can weigh in on this one if you want to make a video or you just want to leave some comments down below, you can let me know.